this is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Don Charles. Get this, Don Charles admits that they weren't ready for the first time in the Usyk brawl, okay? And this is what they had to say. He said, we were mad thinking we were ready. We didn't have to take it, but we did. And let me counterpunch. I think that's a cop-out. I think Danny Dubois was ready as was going to be ready. I think what would help him realistically is the experience that he had with the fighter and knowing what's in front of him. Hopefully for Danny Dubois, this is an older version, which is a little slower, which is a little easier to participate and execute and score punches upon. If it's not, it's going to be the same shit. Him saying, oh, we wasn't ready and, you know, we were mad thinking that we were ready, but we didn't have to take it, but we did. No, you wanted to take the fight because that's what Daniel wanted. He was the WBA regular champion and he wanted to see how good he was. He wanted the championship. He wanted the unified titles, and that's what it was, and that's what he went for. And then plus the $2 million was there. So there you go. I mean, I just think that now, all things said and done, if they didn't think they were going to win and they didn't think they were ready, I think that justifies Danny Dubois quitting. You see what I'm saying? Because what he's saying is, Don Charles, oh, we were mad to think we were ready for that fight. Well, that means that you guys weren't ready for the fight and you're trying to get an excuse big enough, like we weren't ready for Danny Dubois quitting. There's no excuse for that. I'm sorry. He quit because he wasn't ready? What the fuck? But then yet you think and you claim that he got dropped and stopped in the 5th round, but then claimed that that wasn't enough to mentally prepare Danny Dubois. You know what I mean? Because if anything, why would that discourage me knowing that I hit and hurt this guy to the body? That means I'm going to keep going to the body until, or hopefully that, and I can execute the same type of, thing again, right? So I don't understand Don Charles a lot of times. I think sometimes he just needs to shut the fuck up. Because, I mean, a lot of times he says things and, and a lot of this here is damage control. This is damage control. And Don is like, hey, we were mad to think we were ready. It's like, well, you're the head trainer. You were hired, right, to be the head trainer. So you did what you could do with what you had. So I just don't get him saying the things that he's saying, like, oh, we were mad to think we were ready. But I'm going to tell you this, guys, and I'm going to leave you with this. Don Charles saying these things to cover up the fact that Danny Dubois quit, because that's what he's saying. We wasn't ready because Daniel quit because I haven't spent enough time with him. No, he quit because he fucking quit. But all of this bickering, the legal, illegal, Usyk's a fraud, Usyk's a liar, Usyk's a clown, Usyk's all this, that, and the other. What's going to happen in this situation, people? All of these things that are being used as weapons, as excuses, as fuel. If Usyk taps Daniel Dubois' ass again, none of this can be used again, ever. All credibility will be going out of the window, and people will remember all of the excuses and all the bullshit that you guys come about with. See, it's almost like if Danny Dubois loses, a part of me wants him to quit again. You know why? Because it will show that he ain't changed. It will show that everything that you said was absolute bullshit. Because it's one thing to talk about someone, but it's another thing to say something about somebody that you think you know and you don't know anything about. At no point Don Charles gave Usyk his credit for putting the pressure on Daniel Dubois to make him quit. It's always been something else. You might as well join Deontay Wilder's crew with that bullshit, with all the excuses that you've mentioned and used over all this time, down there 2 years. You've bickered and you pissed and you moaned over this and you were faking it. But then, was he faking it? Or does Daniel hit that hard? No, I think Daniel hits that hard. The only problem is he pulled an Andrew Galata light. He pulled a Andrew Galata Jr., right? Yeah, it didn't necessarily hit him in the ball sack like Usyk would claim, which is bullshit. I do agree. But it did hit him in an area that is illegal. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, you could say what you think it is, but, you know, but it's contentious. But him saying that we weren't ready for that fight, I just don't buy that shit. I don't believe Don Charles. I just think this is a cop-out because he knows that he has no answer for Daniel Dubois fucking quitting. And that's my counterpunch. You guys tell me what you think about this particular statement that Don Charles made. We were crazy to think we were ready for Oleksandr Usyk. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!